Very few people plan their talks well enough. They are scrambling around, arranging the subtleties of the slide deck instead. You pay a stiff reputation penalty from that poor choice. Better to know some of the basics of planning before you even think about getting started. Welcome back. This weekly edition every Friday of the Japan Business Mastery Show. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, your corporate coaching and training guy, president of Dale Carnegie Training Japan, and best-selling author of 2 books, Japan Sales Mastery and Japan Business Mastery. And my new book, Japan Presentations Mastery, will be released shortly. We are bringing the show to you from our studio in the High Performance Center in Akasaka, in Minato-ku, the business center of Tokyo. This is episode number 72, and we are talking about how to design our talk. Before we get going, a quick word from our sponsor. If you want to become a fully competent and confident presenter, then do the High Impact Presentations course. We are all being judged when we speak, be it in the internal team meeting or in a public environment, be it the big bosses, clients, or an industry audience. Everyone is evaluating us. Don't blow it. Get the best training on the planet. Do the High Impact Presentations course now in either Japanese or English. Are you doing business with Japan? Do you really know how things work? Japan Business Mastery provides the answers. Do you have the right networks and know how to create them? Do you know how to get on the same wavelength with Japanese buyers? Do you know what being trustworthy looks like from the Japanese perspective? Japan Business Mastery is based on more than 30 years' experience in Japan and will become your go-to guide. Want to succeed in Japan? Buy Japan Business Mastery now. Welcome back. Okay, now it's time for the show. So let's get going. How to design our talk. Designing our presentation well is critical. We have identified our target audience for our key messages. We have selected the title to really engage our audience. We know the purpose of the exercise: inform, persuade, entertain, or motivate to action. Designing the conclusion is always a good place to start. The conclusion is really the summary of the key message we want to get across. The actual content delivery of the concluding message may vary from what we designed at the beginning, but it is still a very good discipline to force us to focus on one central thing we want our audience to take away from our speech. Having prioritized all of the various things we could say and get those down to the one most important thing, we can now work backward and think about how we get our audience to agree with our conclusion. Too many points, our audience will have trouble following the thread of our argument. Too few points, and the argument may not seem convincing for lack of depth and evidence. Usually 3 key points is easy for an audience to follow, but if the subject matter is complex, or if you've been given a longer time to speak, then 5 may be needed. Having derived the key points we're going to make, we go back and design 2 closes. One for the very end of the speech. This is to tie the whole presentation together. We might review what we said, or we might focus on a particular key point. Now, having designed that close, we now design a second close to follow the Q&A session. We need the second close so that we can keep the whole proceedings on track. We have no control over what people will raise at the end by way of questions. It often happens that an audience member will take the discussion completely off topic with their question. If we just allow the event to finish at that point, we've lost control of the messaging. We need to wrap it up in a way that the audience have our key point ringing in their ears as they leave the venue. Finally, we design the opening. This is a tricky one because it is wrapped tightly together with our first impression with the audience. If we try a joke that is weak and falls flat or fails, our initial impression is negative. If we start rambling, we lose our audience's attention. If we commence with something very mundane, we're really going to have trouble breaking through the noise that is humming away between the ears of our audience. We need to break into their attention and capture them for the receipt of our key message. These are the basics of planning. Before you even think about reaching for the mouse to start working on your slide deck, do the planning first. It will make the difference between success and catastrophe. Thank you for watching this episode, and remember to hit the subscribe button. The Japan Business Mastery Show is here to help you navigate your way around business in Japan. Subscribe on YouTube. Share with your family, friends, and colleagues. Hit the little bell icon for automatic new episode notifications. Our website details are on screen now, enjapan.dale.carnegie.com. You might also enjoy our other weekly shows for podcast, Mondays for the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, Tuesday for the Presentations Japan series. Every second Tuesday, we have the Business Tatsujin no Oshie show. Wednesdays for the Sales Japan series. Thursdays for the Leadership Japan series. And every second Thursday, we have the Business Pro Podcasto. Fridays, we have the Japan Business Mastery show. And Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. Now, you get these wherever you get your podcast. Also, Mondays, we release our other TV shows, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's on YouTube. Every second Thursday, the Business Pro Terebi Show. Fridays for the Japan Business Mastery Show, and Saturdays for Japan's top business interviews. Now, these are all available on our YouTube channel. In episode 73, we are talking about generational gaps are widening. Onegai itashimasu. Please join me next week to master business here, because that's what we all want, isn't it? Japan Business Mastery.